Hello, everybody. Today, my topic is how to deal with each enneagram type from my point of view. So, as I mentioned in another video, enneagram can be typed into three categories: body center, feeling center, and also thinking center. So, the body center are type 8, 9, and 1. Normally, this type of people, they will skip thinking part and they will skip feeling part and immediately react to whatever the gut's feeling or on the spot, how they feel like doing. So, how the body feels like doing it. The difference between this body center people and this feeling center, they act immediately, kind of like that. It's just that body center people act even more faster. They skip all the thinking and feeling part. It's like the body feels like doing what, they just do it. Normally, it happens when they have some emotions going on and they act on it. So the actions is the core of everything for them. Now, in order to be able to be with them, to talk to them, you have to constantly talk about the prices, associate yourself with status people, talk about benefit materials. If you don't do this first, there's no way that they want to talk to you, especially type 8 and 9. They don't feel like there's any value to talk to you. That is only from my point of view. Because I am type 5, I do not feel the need to talk about these things. That's why they always don't talk to me. When they start to talk to me, the first few sentences, if I don't talk about those things, then they will not talk to me. It seems like that. And you have to let them see that what's the benefit of talking to you. Is it because of you are someone's relative, or you are someone's your boss? Who is your boss, or someone who do you associate with? Like what kind of interactions that you have with the people that which bring benefit to them. Most of the time it's like that, but type 9 is a bit different. Sometimes they don't really emphasize so much as type 8 and type 1 emphasize from what I see. And but however, even though you don't have those things, but they do can be with you uh, in a short term. They maybe still want to see something from you. They want to see that you are acting according to the image that the society wants you to project. For example, male has to be masculine, female have to look feminine, or whatever females' way of perceptions. For example, female supposed to be um, having a good husband, or supposed to look good, or not so knowledgeable. It's okay, but as long as they look good, they're able to carry the conversations. They're able to present themselves well. Certain kind of role type of things. They run to see that, especially type 1, it's like everything is sort of like black and white. If they have certain image on something. Like we have to do charity just because the society, the trend is to do charity. In order to fit that, in order to feel that they are so-called good persons or charity. Sometimes it depends on the individual. Some of them will feel that, okay, I feel that this we have to help each other. But most of them, they will feel like because this is the role that we're supposed to display, that's why we do it. Um, it's a bit different. It's they are very according to the role of the society expect. If the society says that the guys do not need to pay for the female, then they expect the male do not do that. If the male have to pay everything when they are dating, then you're supposed to do that, and they will also fulfill that role. It's as if like whatever image that they are looking at, it's based on what the society dictate, and they also contributed to that as well. um, when interacting with them, you have to always acknowledge their existence. Even though they are extremely harsh, they do not think people they do not think about other people's feeling at all. They do not think what is right and wrong. They just want their way. Okay, most of the time, especially type A. But if they are in a healthy side, they will develop this thing, and it's always very good, and they are really nice. But however, for those that will skip this thinking and feeling part, it's really hard to be with them. But however, they still want you to be with them. That is really hard. They want everything to be on their way, especially type 8 and type 1. It's really hard. It depends on whether they are extrovert and introvert as well. If they are extrovert, normally everything has to go to their way. If they are skipping their thinking and feeling elements, okay, they are always following the trend. So if you want to know what trend is it, like for example now, um, the world is like dancing is a trend. Okay, if you dance and you show it in public and you post it in Facebook, something like that, and they will feel like okay, you're in the trend, or maybe you are rich. Okay, you have certain status, so you buy BMW. Okay, so you are in the trend. You're somebody that who is have status. Okay, then they will start talk to you. They wants to be with you. You can talk to them and be with them. It's not all of them are like that, but most of them are like that from my point of view. But type 9 is a bit different. Normally, type 9, what I can see is INTP and ISTP. They do see this thing as well, yes, but they are more reserved in certain ways. Like, mm, they emphasize, but not overly emphasize like extrovert. Okay, so they are nice in certain ways. So, however, like um, if they are developed or they are on their healthy side, it's always like that. When they are on their healthy side, they really likes to contribute to the society and make the charity even more efficient. Where you can make things happen. From what I see is that if they really wants to do it, they make things happen. They contribute to the so-called image or certain trend. So that's what I think. So when I be with them, so normally I will talk about this. When I see they are this type of people, I will talk about this. Then they maybe will talk in a nice way with me, or they just feel like okay, then you are legitimate, like you're like past the QC of like be able to talk to, like we can talk to you, you are being accepted, because that's how they see themselves being accepted by others, or they are being accepted by others because of these things. It's not all of them, but for me, I see it's most of them if they are type 8, 9, and 1. Okay, for the feeling center, they can be type 2 and 3 and 4. So what these people doing is that they can't they want to be accepted, so they have a lot of elements like body centered people what they want. So feeling type of people, because this is the trend, right? The body centers, whatever they emphasize or what they are going for are the trend. That's why feeling type of people feels like it's the right thing to have that trend. Okay. So the trend is that if you show them that the trend and being accepted, then they feel like okay, this person feels okay. This person feels like it's legitimate. It's QC. Approve, the quality is there, okay, then this person is okay. um yeah, so what I think is that what I see is that if you want to talk to them, talk about the details about them, notice about something about them, and ask about how they feel about it. For example, like, what do you have for dinner? I remember that you always go to the Japanese restaurant last time. You like it so much. I know a Japanese restaurant recently is having a very good deal or new menu. Would you like to come along? Or I've tried it. This menu is really great and I love it, and a lot of people likes it too. Maybe you can try it too. Like, you try to project the image that you remember them. You try to project the image that let them realize that you notice them. They really likes people notice them, and you talk about the details about it. Okay, don't analyze too much because I'm a thinking center, so I tend to analyze a lot. They cannot take it. So I will try to small talk a lot. It's not my nature, but in order to be with customer or able to socialize, that's the thing that I realized that I need to do it. If you don't do it, you know what? If you don't talk, elaborate these things to them, remember that they are gonna do something that which is not so pleasant sometimes. They are not so agreeable. It's like you have to do this in order for them to feel right. It's about feeling whatever feel right, then it's okay. So in order for them to you cannot skip this feeling type, especially they are feeling centered. So it's better for me to or it's better for people to acknowledge that. For example, like the other day I have a colleague was in another corner of the shop. Okay. So he was serving another customer and I was serving another customer, but we have the same air conditioner in the same room. So it's a bit far away, but the there's only one air conditioner that which link. So I my client is really cold, super cold, and she requests to switch off, and I just switch off at the time. But it's because it's far away, so I did not really talk to my colleague. And then he was kind of pissed off, and he came over. He's on it first, and then he's realized that there's another client, so he was asking that, oh, does she feel cold? And then I say, yeah, yeah, that's why I switch it off. And then what happened is that she said, oh yeah, yeah, it's okay, yeah, oh, I understand that. Okay, let me switch it on, switch it off. So, but before I go back, I mean, it's time for after work, but um, I will still approach him and tell him that, oh, because the client was feeling very cold and he's shivering, so I think it's better to switch off. And I do not have a jacket for her. There's no remote control that can control the temperature, and the air conditioner was linked to one main switch. And I should talk about that. I should like ask you first, and but should inform you first. I did something like that, and now it why I do that because I realized that he did it all the time, and I realized that a lot of feeling center people do it. And you know what? After I do this one, they are really, really nice to me, and suddenly like whatever it's the interaction seems like very smooth in certain way compared to if I don't do the small rituals that make them feel at ease. Okay, and also like acknowledge their existence, small talk with them, and relate to the feeling. Always relate to the feeling, and also relates to something incidents which is the same. Talk about daily life things they like it, and talk about what is in the trend. Because feelers, even though they are not feelers, but they are feeling centered. For example, like give you an example who are not feelers, but they are feeling centered are INTP type 3. They feel a lot. Sometimes really hard. So that's why we need to talk like this. I realize that it works. Of course, maybe there are some other things more. But however, care about them, acknowledge their existence, do some small thing. Oh, what can I? I'm gonna buy something at this shop, and just want to ask you, like, would you like to have something as well? Like, I can bring for you. You know, this kind of small gesture, so that they feel like you remember them, you care about that feeling, you acknowledge that feeling, you acknowledge that existence, you accept that feeling. Then this is really extremely important. If you don't do that, hmm, they will not. They will start do something else. So, um, just if you want to handle this kind of people, in my point of view, just do this one, two rituals. In a big main thing is one, show them that you're in the trend. Number two, show them that you care about their feelings or doing something the so-called what is feel right. Now, thinking center are type 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Now, I write like lesser. Why? Because I'm type 5. I think if you want to be with thinking type of people, make sure that you make sense all the time. As long as you make sense. For me, I want people make sense every single second. Okay, so for type 6, they want everything to be safe at the safe side. Okay, type 7, this is hard because they are normally type 7 are extrovert, and um, they think as well, but they analyze a lot of it. Depends on that personal uh, preferences. Some type 7, actually it's not only type 7, it depends on the environment, the job itself, and also the upbringing. If in the environment they were expect to analyze a lot, analyzing is acceptable, then they will adopt it. If not, they normally do not adopt that. It's very different from 5, 6, 7. What I can see is that I normally can relate more with and 6, 5 and 6, but not really on 7, because 7 have a tendency to dismiss it. Because but I have seen some other people that type 7 are really analyzing a lot. That's really amazing. If you want to have conversation as a thinker, like even though like type 6, for example, like INFJ, even though they are feelers, they are also thinking center people. So I can analyze that to them, but the way of analyzing maybe is a bit similar, but it's just that they don't analyze that far away. If you have analyzed about the feeling side, then yes, the people side, the feeling side, yeah, you can analyze a very, very long way. So it really depends on their MBTI type and their upbringing and their environments and what they are determined to have. Uh, Normally, if I talk about the research analysis, I can go very far with these people. So for thinking side, normally I only do with the 5, 6, and 7. I realized that 5, 6, and 7. And don't expect feeling centered people and body centered people can catch up. Body centered people have almost absolute no patience on this thing unless it brings benefit, like immediate applications. They are more action oriented and do not talk so much possibilities with them. Okay, especially the S people or SJ sensors. So um, there are some good things about it if interpreting differently. Uh, a lot of ideas of theories brings meaning only if they are being implemented. I see it in that way. Okay, so that's it for today. Recap. So today's my topic was how to deal with each enneagram type, and enneagram can be categorized into three category: body centered, feeling centered, and thinking centered. So the main thing on body center, if you want to talk to them, please talk about the prices, the benefit, the materials, the association, the images, the role which is being accepted by the crowd, by the public, which is okay, the trend, okay, and acknowledge their existence by being with them, do things and don't analyze too much, just do it and show results. It's a very efficient and certain way implementation. I think this is great. Now, feeling centered people, feeling whatever feels right, then okay. In order to feel right, it has to be able to accept by the group or the crowd or the public. So they have this trait on body centered people, just that they feel more. They develop the feeling. They are more. Uh, they have a lot of sympathy, empathetic. You know, so to be with them, to talk to them, realize that what I have done correctly, um, understand how they feel, remember the details about them, and talk about it the next time you see them or on the same day you talk about them. Talk about the history that you have with them, make them feel that you're being together with them. Okay, so show them that you're in the trend accepted by the crowd. Number two, remember the details about them, talk about it, relate it with the feeling. Okay, small talk, talk about their daily life and how you feel about it. Okay, acknowledge their existence, care about their feelings in a small way, big or small way every single day. Then the next one is thinking centered. The last one is thinking centered 5, 6, and 7. How to talk to them. You can analyze with them a long, long way. Doing research, talk about a lot of research, what is working, what is not working. That is so awesome. If you realize that they are not analyzing a lot, they do not really have a lot of patience in this thinking type, then forget about it. Switch your focus on the persons that who prefer. For example, if you want to analyze, go to thinking center people. If you want to talk about feeling, do not go to body center people. They don't really care about it. They want to see something implementations. Talk about that with body center people. Feeling people, talk about that with them. They are good in that. And thinking people, here you go. You can analyze. And if you want to talk more on this thinking on the emotions, that's you can talk to INFJ type 6.5, but they're really awesome in that. They know a lot of things, they think about it. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video, and give a thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.